My sister was murdered by a pimp. Her body was found hanging upside down in her apartment, blood streaming down the walls and pooling on the floor like a nightmare that could never be erased. That day, I lost the only person in the world who truly loved me. Her name was Sarah. She was 2 years older than me. We grew up together in the same cold, indifferent household, clinging to each other like survivors. She always protected me, stepping in to shield me from the unwelcome glances at those obligatory family dinners. Eventually, she fled to California, hoping to start over. But not long after, her phone calls turned into sobs. She said she was in trouble. She said she'd met some people. She said she'd found a group of bikers who might help her. But she wouldn't let me come, said it was too dangerous. By the time I finally dropped everything and flew to her side, all the police could show me were crime scene photos. Her throat was cut. Her ankles were bound, her body dangling from a ceiling fan. Her eyes still held that frozen terror. The officers just shrugged. Another streetwalker, they said. They didn't even bother to finish the paperwork. From that moment on, my world had only one goal: to make sure no forgotten girl ever suffered the same fate. I applied to graduate school, studying gender and crime studies. My advisor was Professor Wild, one of the nation's top experts on sex work policy. He gave me one rule: stay in the North Side. There, the sex workers were mostly independent. Police patrols were frequent, and it was relatively safe. I agreed, because I knew that was the price of his trust. But deep down, I knew the real danger was in the South Side, where pimps and traffickers were moving in the shadows. One night, after interviewing several women in the North Side, they whispered a name to me: Remius. Word was he was positioning himself, waiting for the city council to pass the new bill legalizing sex work, so he could legitimately build his own brothel empire. He was already recruiting girls in the South Side, using threats and violence to control them. I sat on the bus stop bench, torn apart inside. I should listen to my professor, but those girls' terrified eyes kept circling in my mind. Finally, I jumped on a southbound bus, telling myself I'd just listen, I wouldn't cause any trouble. The South Side streets were dark and dilapidated, the air thick with dampness and smoke. I met Ruby, one of the first sex workers I'd ever connected with. Small, sharp, with eyes as wary as a cat's. She took me to a rundown house, where an 18-year-old girl sat wearing next to nothing, her fingers trembling as she spoke. She told me Remius's men had already approached her, saying she'd either work for them or disappear. After the interview, I stepped outside and felt a cold prickle at the back of my neck. Someone was watching me. I quickened my pace, but I hadn't gone far before a greasy, heavy-set man lunged from the shadows and slammed me against a wall. His fingers closed around my throat, lifting me off the ground as he spat, calling me a nosy bitch, saying Remius had only wanted to warn me at first, but now he thought I'd be better off lying on my back. My vision started to blur, but survival instinct drove my hand to the knife in my pocket. I pretended to struggle, flicking the blade open, and when he leaned in to violate me, I slashed across his face, then drove the knife deep into his gut. He screamed and let go. I hit the ground gasping, then scrambled up and ran. I don't know how long I ran. Turning the last corner, I crashed into a chest as solid as a wall. I looked up and saw a tall man with dirty blonde hair tied in a bun, eyes like a wolf's, staring down at me. I heard his low voice, "Who did this?" And then everything went black. When I woke up, I was lying in an unfamiliar bed, my neck wrapped in bandages, my head throbbing. A dark-haired girl sat at a nearby desk, typing. She saw me open my eyes and flashed a sweet smile. "Oh, you're awake. I'm Clary. They call me Princess. Don't worry, you're in our club." I realized I'd stumbled into the Silent Nights, that motorcycle club both feared and legendary in the city. She showed me my student ID and casually mentioned she'd hacked into the university database and knew my thesis topic. Before I could even feel afraid, I heard a commotion outside. I ran out barefoot and found a room full of large, tattooed men. Among them was the man who saved me, Hunter. He leaned against the bar, he feigned a smile on his lips. My first instinct was fear. I grabbed a bottle, smashed it, and held the jagged edge to his throat, but he just smiled and greeted me, "Hey there, Birdy."